Hello again, Raw Deal Universe. Hog Trail, aka the GOAT, back for another Get Good. Last time we did the Second Coming. I haven't been able to play him yet. So I think we're all caught up on the most recent decks, and let's just jump right into it and see who we got. Well, it's the big show. All right, we got the Octagon deck builder open. I've got Big Show's Superstar specifics loaded up. I've got my heel shell up right now, but that won't be entirely relevant in a minute. So let's get started. Big Show, 9 hand size and a 3 superstar value. You cannot pack high risk maneuvers. Discard 2 cards in order to play a maneuver unless it is your first maneuver played of the turn. Your opponent's grapple maneuvers do no more than a maximum of 3 damage. So there's good and bad with this. The bad being you can't pack high risk, which is fine. And the discard 2 in order to play a move unless it's your first. I mean, that doesn't really hurt too much in modern Raw Deal. You're not often playing 2 maneuvers a turn, but your opponent's grapple is doing no more than a maximum of 3 damage is really good, and it will get better once we get into the virtual cards. So we'll add Big Show, absolutely. So I guess before I get going into the rest of these, we should go over Big Nasty Bastard, which was his most recent superstar specific. It can only be packed by the Big Show. When packing this card, you can pack face, heel, cheater, and fan favorite cards in your arsenal, and your Big Show specific arsenal cards and Big Show specific arsenal cards in your backstage. And when this card is revealed, shuffle those cards into your arsenal, and your opponent cannot respond to Mountain of a Man. So basically, that means our arsenal can have face, heel, cheater, and fan favorite. Our backlash cannot, so we have to choose our alignment for our backlash deck. But we also get all of Big Show's arsenal specific cards. We can pack them in our backstage outside of our 60 card arsenal. So I think we're going to end up with I think it's a 76 card arsenal, which is a lot, which is really good. So let's just put that over here right now while we're looking at it. All right, that being said, we can add these cards to the backstage. And there's really no reason not to pack all of these specifics because we get them basically for free. They don't take up arsenal space. Final cut, trademark finisher, 35, fortitude, 30 damage. When successful, opponent discards 2. That is clear and to the point. So I'm just going to add it to the bottom because we'll just do it that way. Well, pre-match event. When this card is in your ring area during your turn, you may put this card into your ring side. If your next card played from hand is a strike or grapple, it's +5 damage. And if it's not reversed from your opponent's hand, draw up to 3. It's an okay card. If you know your move's going to be successful, it's a really good card because it gives you 3 more cards in your hand. You know, it's a regular ace, so it can be reversed, but there's no reason not to pack it unless we don't have room and we have something better to pack. Showstopper Chokeslam. It's a grapple / reversal strike. It's 20 fortitude and 12 damage. That's basically it. This card will also basically be a reversal every single game. Big Show Splash can only be played after thrown to the corner turnbuckle, cannot be reversed. When successfully played, you may draw 1 and your opponent discards 1. That's good. 500 pounds of raw power, 5 fortitude reversal, reverse any non-trademark finisher. And the first card played in your turn cannot be reversed. Big All Over, 4 fortitude reversal. Reverse any straight grapple or submission and end your opponent's turn. When Mountain of a Man is not in your ring, that card can only be 7 damage or less. This card is plus number damage where number is equal to the reversed card's damage. And remember, our opponent cannot respond to Mountain of a Man. So if your opponent plays, technical power bomb and you play big all over, he's eating 14 reversal damage. Thank you very much. Here is Mountain of Man. Draw up to 3. When this card is in your ring, your opponent cannot play setup cards unless it's from the top rope or springboard. This can really shut down a lot of decks, particularly if they're playing Are You Ready for a Good Time? Because then they don't get to play This Is Just the Beginning. And being able to draw 3 cards anytime because they cannot respond is really good. You can't manhandle the Big Show. It's a pre-match feud. At the end of the pre-match, you may put 2 cards from your hand on the bottom of your arsenal and then search your arsenal for 1 non-unique card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle. When your opponent is Undertaker, Dead Man Inc., Ric Flair, Big Freaking Machine, Brock Lesnar, or the Rattlesnake, the maximum number of pre-match cards he may have in his ring is reduced by 2. I don't love this card in general. It's okay, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I feel like getting rid of 2 cards to search for a non-unique card isn't really tremendous. If your opponent is one of the guys listed on this card, then this is a really good card. We'll add it for now, but again, we might take it out. Showdown is a 4 Fortitude mid-match reversal. Can only be played after a successfully played action. End your opponent's turn. His reversals to your first card played during your next turn are +8 Fortitude. So your opponent plays an action, you play this, he resolves his action because you didn't reverse it. But then his turn immediately ends after it's resolved, and his reversals to your first card played are +8 Fortitude. So if they don't have 8 Fortitude, it's going to be hard for them to reverse it. That's pretty good. The straps are down, Fortitude 0. Action, your opponent discards 2. When your next card played this turn is a maneuver, it is -10 Fortitude or +10 damage. In general, I don't love this card, but it's better for Big Show than it is for anyone else. And I will show you in a second why. The Hog Log, it's a grapple high risk / action. It's 18 Fortitude, 17 damage with 3 stun. As a maneuver, can only be played after a successfully played maneuver. As an action, 0 Fortitude, 0 damage. Shuffle this card into your arsenal and draw 2. So at the very least, it's a decent action. And it's a big, beefy maneuver. So I'm not mad at it. And it's free. All right, so this card is why straps are down. Big Show's F5 is a mid-match trademark finisher that reverses strike, 25 Fortitude, 12 damage. As a maneuver, this card is -15 Fortitude and can only be played after a successfully played card. Are you putting together the pieces? So if I have straps are down and it's 0 Fortitude and straps are down is successful, I say, all right, my next card played is a maneuver. It's -10 Fortitude. And then this card becomes a 0 Fortitude, 12 damage trademark finisher. That's very hard to reverse early game unless your opponent has, hold the phone, or they have no sell maneuver, or a very specific kind of reversal. There's a good chance this card's going to go through, and it's 12 Fortitude right off the bat. The Shhhh Chop. It's a strike, multi, 0 Fortitude, 5 damage. When successfully played, you may shuffle 1 card from your ringside pile into your arsenal, and you may put 1 mid-match card from your ringside into your backlash. There's nothing wrong with that. It is fan favorite, though, and remember that this card is not packed in our arsenal. So right now, our backstage and our backlash is aligned fan favorite. Keep that in mind. Now, we can always pack this card in our arsenal if we do want to pack a cheater backlash card. So just keep that in mind. Mine is bigger than yours. Your opponent's pre-match cards do not reduce your starting hand size. The maximum number of pre-match and mid-match cards you can have in your ring area is increased by 1, and your starting hand size is +1. The maximum number of pre-match and mid-match cards your opponent may have in his ring area is decreased by 1, and his starting hand size is -1. This is a really good card. I like this card a lot. Pre-match, denying your opponent pre-match is really powerful. Pre-match is the most important phase of the game to like set yourself up. So if you can disrupt that, it can really do good things. The biggest precision spine buster, it's 20 fortitude, 15 damage. When played, discard up to 2 superstar specific cards. This card is minus 10 fortitude for each card discarded. It's decent. And he has a bunch of specifics that we're going to be packing, so that's okay. Colossal Clubbing, plain as it gets. It's a multi-strike, 6 damage. That's it. No text, just, you know, unique multi-strike. I'm fine with it. Big enough to eat somebody, 6 fortitude action / reversal. As an action, it is 0 fortitude. Search your arsenal for 1 card, put it into your hand and shuffle, and you can ignore can only be played in the text of your next card this turn. Not bad. As a reversal, reverse any action and your opponent's turn, and he discards 3. That's a good card. The big and the small of it, 15 fortitude action, can only be played when your fortitude rating is greater than your opponent's fortitude rating and when you have fewer cards in your hand than him. Your opponent overturns cards equal to the difference between your fortitude rating and his, and you draw cards until you have the same number of cards in your hand as him. This card can really do some serious damage. You know, if I have 50 fortitude and my opponent has 10, then he has to overturn 40 cards. Now, there's a very good chance that's going to get reversed, but there's also a good chance that he overturns, you know, 20 cards. So, and again, it's free, so there's no reason not to pack it. You won't see it coming. Action / reversal submission, 0 fortitude, 0 damage. As an action, put 1 card from your hand under this card. As a reversal, reverse any submission and your opponent's turn. Search your arsenal for 1 card, put it under this card and shuffle. When this card is in your ring, you may play the card under this card as if it was in your hand. And if this card is moved from your ring area, the card under this card is put into your ring side. So this card is obviously much better as a reversal. And we can pack 3 of them because it's non-unique. All right, now this next card. Pay attention to this one. Giant shift in power. It's a virtual pre-match storyline, NWO logo. It cannot be blanked. New ability. Your opponent's non-unique maneuvers deal a maximum of 5 damage. Your fortitude 0 maneuvers are +3 damage. And when you play Big Show Splash as a counter, ignore that can only be played after text. So this card makes Big Show really difficult to deal with. All of your opponent's non-unique maneuvers doing at most 5 damage is pretty huge. And it's NWO, and we'll look at the NWO cards after. Remember, we looked at them before when we built Kevin Nash. Not sure we're going to be using the NWO Allegiance, however. I think I have another idea of what to do, but this card's really good. Big and tough, as big and tough as any 2 men. When your opponent's printed superstar value is less than your printed superstar value, and he plays handicap match, he may only choose 1 of the 3 options on this card. That's really good because if your opponent is a, you know, we have a 3 superstar value. So if our opponent is a tag team or stable with 2 or less, then they only get 1 part of handicap match. Your handicap match is a really good stipulation. Too big to slow down, backstage area. Ignore strike or grapple on well, and your Showstopper Chokeslam is now a trademark finisher. During your turn, when you have no non-hybrid maneuvers in your ring and your opponent's fortitude is 10 or more, your Big Show specific multi-fortitude 0 maneuvers require 3 reversals instead of 2. So that would be the Shhhh Chop, the biggest precision spine buster, and the Colossal Clubbing. There's no reason not to pack this card. And even for just the first part of ignore strike or grapple text on well, that's fine, you know. Maybe we have clutch onto opponent and we know our opponent's not going to reverse it. So there you go. Andre the Giant, Battle Royal winner. It's a multi-action for 8 fortitude. Cannot be packed by a tag team. When you have lower fortitude, it is -8 fortitude. Put up to 8 cards from your ring side on the bottom of your arsenal. And when this card is in your ring, your non-unique, non-multi, non-chain maneuvers are -4 fortitude, and your opponent's reversals are -4 damage. Nothing wrong with that. It's recovery, and it makes opponent's reversals hurt less. And then we already have Big Nasty Bastard. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're looking at a 76 card arsenal right off the bat. That's really good. So there's no other cards that Big Show can pack. If we were the largest athlete, we would have options of other cards to pack, but that's it. So even after adding 16 specifics, we're still only at 30 cards. Now, if I recall correctly, superstar logo equals nothing. Card text Big Show. Yes, Big Show gets no cell maneuver. So we will be adding 3 no cells. We'll be taking out the Revos. And since we can pack no cell, we will have the counter reversal package, which is counter hold, counter assault, counter throw. Now remember, we have such a large arsenal, so this could come back to bite us because out of 76 cards, we have 3 base reversals, and each of those reversals only reverse 2 types. So just keep that in mind. So we might have to add other reversals since we have all this extra arsenal space. Okay, let's see. So before we go further, I think I should tell you my general idea for this deck. So in virtual, we have some ECW cards. Let's go over the throwback ECW belt. It's a pre-match object, 1 superstar value. Choose one. Your maneuvers are +1 damage, or your opponent's maneuvers are -1 damage. That's fine, because remember, with our storyline, opponent's non-unique maneuvers do a maximum of 5. So with this, if we choose to make their moves -1, then they're at 4 damage. However, that's not where it ends. Don't question the fire that burns inside. Pre-match allegiance, ECW. Double all numbers in your ECW championship belt, and you may choose both options. Now, unfortunately, the other text on this card isn't relevant to us, but that first effect is really all we need, because now our maneuvers will be +2 damage and opponent's maneuvers will be -2 damage. So all of your opponent's non-unique maneuvers will deal a maximum of 3 damage. And unfortunately, the other ECW cards aren't really that good unless you are an ECW superstar. Because wrestling in the ECW arena won't do much for us. But the ECW championship belt is quite good. So we're going to lean into that. Now remember, opponents' non-unique maneuvers are going to do less than their non-unique maneuvers are going to do at most 5 damage. So let's look up less than and card type reversal. Actually, we should look up or less. That's probably more like it. You know, rolling takedown and knee to the gut become possible packs with us, as funny as that sounds. So they each revert, one reverses a grapple, one reverses a strike. They do the same thing. They reverse a maneuver of that type of 7 damage or less, and then your opponent takes that much damage. That might be a little bit too cute for us, but you know, it would really catch someone off guard if they run into that. So we'll see. Clumsy opponent. This is a card I wanted to look at. Reverse any maneuver of 4 damage or less and end your opponent's turn. You may draw 1 card. So for us, this basically becomes a revolution of the mind for non-unique maneuvers, and it doesn't remove itself when it gets overturned. So we will be adding 3 clumsy opponents. Fall into the corner is interesting. It reverses any maneuver of 8 damage or less, and your opponent continues his turn. Its next card played is considered to be played after thrown to the corner turnbuckle. That might be a little bit too cute for us. Get out of here is raw, so we don't want it. It's raw. I already warned you. I don't think we're going to be building a Heat Big Show. Quick Reflexes is a good card. Quick Reflexes and Unexpected Turn of Events. You cannot pack this card when packing Step Aside. Reverse any strike maneuver of 7 damage or less and end your opponent's turn. When his superstar value is 4 or greater and also greater than your value, the maneuver may be 10 damage or less, draw 1 card. Unexpected is the same thing with grapples. So I had planned on running either Step Aside and Escape Move or Quick Reflexes and Unexpected Turn. I think I'm going to go with Quick Reflexes and Unexpected Turn of Events. Because they offer that 1 fortitude and they let you draw a card. So I'm gonna pack 2 of them. Headstrong reverses any non-unique maneuver of 10 damage or less, but again, I don't think we're going to be Heat. Back Fist. All right. The volley maneuver, it's 6 fortitude and it's 4 damage. As a maneuver, it's -6 fortitude, and if it's your first card played, it is +4 damage. As a reversal, reverse any maneuver of 3 damage or less. So if we have the ECW belt and the Allegiance, this reverses any non-unique maneuver. And I think this might dictate what the rest of our build looks like, because I think we might lean into a volley build. Small package does something interesting. Versus any chain maneuver 4 damage or less. So it would reverse any non-unique chain maneuver for us, but I think that's a little silly. Lift the boot. We should have some kind of high risk reversal. Even if most high risks are non-unique, we still should reverse something. And I'm wondering if, all right, we'll keep the volley stuff in mind. I do want to look at cards that reverse high risk. No. All right. I only reverse a high risk maneuver if played from hand. Okay. Less fortitude. We can pack brass knucks in our arsenal. I think that's probably a good idea. Save the drama for your mama. Overshot won't do us much help because it reverses any striker high risk of 5 damage. Although it reverses any strike maneuver 5 damage greater or any high risk. So I suppose we could have it for high risks, but I don't know. Death Valley Driver is a little expensive. We have Mr. Chance already. Now let's look up maneuvers that reverse, or reversals that reverse non-unique maneuvers. Because, like I said, most high risks are non-unique. Blindside Ego. Reverse any non-unique maneuver. Blindside could be an interesting way to go with Big Show. Anything in Hate, it's a good card. It's an underrated card. And it's heal, so we can pack it in our arsenal without any issue. Spot Adjustment. Spot Adjustment's not a bad card at all. It's just needing to have less fortitude, and it can only be played from hand. So I just don't think it's going to be very valuable in this deck. Yeah, I think we're going to add a couple of these. It's great to be back here. It is a really good reversal. It hits most maneuvers with a reversal restriction. And if the last few decks I've built on this series have been an indication, reversal restriction maneuvers are really good. Estrada. Bash, blindside, dynamic, precision, or shoot. I don't think we're going to be leaning into any of that. Volley on the edge can only be played when you have a volley maneuver in your ring. Huh. Maybe we do lean into volley. I'll pack. For now, I'll pack two of them. So the interesting thing about this card, it's a 342 reversal, and it can only be played when you have a volley maneuver in your ring. Reverse any non-unique maneuver that is not chain or heat, end your opponent's turn. When this card is in your ring area, during your turn, you can remove this card from the game and then remove up to 4 cards in your opponent's ringside from the game. So the cool thing about this card is it can only be played when you have a volley maneuver in your ring. However, when it's overturned, it can still reverse any non-unique maneuver that is not chain or heat. So this card can be very valuable. Nothing else is really jumping out at me. Oh, we can pack this card because we will have we do have an NWO card in our ring. Because this card does not require the allegiance. So that's good. Slap, the Horseman. Right, I can pack face reversals too. So I think Olay will have to go in. I have Shocking. I have to add face reversals in here. So, you know, that's the problem with these superstars that can pack a lot of cards is you want to pack all the cards you don't normally get to pack. Because we're already at 46 cards. So now I have to look up face cards because we want sloppy 3 and we want once is enough 3 of them because they're very good. He's playing possum. We can pack it because we can pack face and cheater and heel and fan favorite cards in our arsenal. First, any card that causes you to discard or overturn for a non-damage effect. If your opponent's successful hand maneuver with a reversal restriction from a card is not reversed from arsenal, you may put this card from your hand, or if it's D7 or greater, from ringside into your ring and end his turn. I like playing possum, but man, we're already tight. We're at 52, so we're gonna have to trim some of these cards, unfortunately. So I don't think possum's gonna make the cut. All right. Let's see. What don't we need? We don't need, man, we need all these cards. Or I want all these cards. All right, let's start at the top. Yes, yes, yes. I really want to hold the phone in this deck because it reverses so many good cards. We need 3 elbows because it reverses a lot of good maneuvers. I kind of want to add a third don't try this at home just because we have arsenal space, but apparently we don't. Candace is just a good reversal, but I just think, I don't know if we'll be able to rely on actions. Do we cut the quick reflexes and the unexpected turns? I don't want to cut the volleys, but man, yeah, I guess I'll cut one of each of them. 49. Yeah, I guess I'll cut the other 2. 47. I would like around this many volley maneuvers since I think we're going to lean that direction. Yeah, I think we'll. All right. I think that's fine. So let's look up trait volley. It's a high risk. We don't want it. Chump punch. I don't love chump punch. Super punch is fine, but cold cocked is really good. We want at least two. We can pack spinning leg drop because we are the big show, but I don't think it's really particularly that good. Kidney punch is decent, and we can keep picking it up. I'll add one for now. We definitely want back fist. We want Apchaki kick. Fisticuffs is good. We're at 54. Straight. I like straight clothesline. We'll add a couple of them. Punch after punch is basically a trademark finisher if you're a volley deck. The old straight arm shot. Thrust knee lift is quite good as well. 2 cards left. Throwback sucker punch is good, but not great. Maneuver of Doom is a good card, but we can't pack it because it's a high risk. Do I want the thrust knee lifts, or do I want something like the old straight arm shot or straight headbutt? Or do I go just one more straight clothesline and then find something else to put in? Straight clothesline and maybe a fisticuffs, maybe a baseball slide. Baseball slide can really catch people off guard if they play a run in. Reverse clothesline is also quite good. Man. Or maybe we go something like solar plexus. But is it worth just having one? Let me look up card text contains volley. See if there's anything. We're going to want Little Rock. I don't think we need to pump our damage up that much. Build momentum. No. Shake It Off's a sneaky, decent card. Pyro Volley, we might want one in the pre-match. Just throw that in for now, just in case. Volley Call is okay, but we're not going to be playing many actions. Thrust kick, we already saw that. We don't need 3 punch after punch. That seems like overkill. I guess we could put a volley beyond the edge in. Ooh, I should make another puncher's chance to. That was a joke. One card. Maybe this is where that third don't try comes in. There it is. So we don't have a ton of moves. But I think we have enough. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 if we're desperate. Plus 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, plus the big show at 5. I think we're probably fine. And remember, our 0 fortitude moves are plus 3 damage. So 1, 2, 3 of our maneuvers are potentially plus an additional 3 damage, plus the 2 damage for that. So I think we'll be okay. Yeah. So that's our 60 card arsenal plus a bunch of cards in our backstage. So let's look at the pre-match. All right. Can't manhandle the big show. What card would we get? A non-unique card. What non-unique card in here is worth picking up? Well, don't try this at home if our opponent has a good ace. Elbow to the face will reverse most non-unique maneuvers. Great to be back here in if I think my opponent is going to throw cheese at us. Brass Knucks or Clumsy, if I think they're a high risk deck. Okay, for now, I think I'll allow it. But again, we could, you know what? Let's just look at pre-match cards with volley in the text, because something like Managed by Lita will definitely be going into our deck. It's a pre-match manager. At the end of the pre-match, you can put one card from your hand on top of your arsenal and then search your arsenal for a volley maneuver. You can put it in your hand. And when this card is in your ring area, if you successfully play a volley maneuver, you can draw a card. Nothing wrong with that. Opening volley is an absolute staple of volley decks. Pre-match event. Your non-multi volley maneuvers are read as volley +3, and your opponent's non-superstar specific reversal to them deal no damage. When your fortitude rating is less than 10, he cannot reverse from his ring or remove cards from his ring side to reverse your non-multi volley maneuvers. So this really gave volley the help it needed to help get started. And it makes it so you don't take reversal damage from non-specific reversals, which is really good. So absolutely we're going in. Making your escape. Does Hell in a Cell or First of All or any of them really hurt us that much? Don't think so. Tech in a Bottle would be fun, but I think we have our feud already. We're not a heat deck. Do we need the championship belt? End of pre-match, discard a card and search for a volley card, put it in your hand. I don't think we need that. And then Jesse searches for non-volleys. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 pre-match cards right now. This one doesn't count. We have a bunch of specifics. So I think we are going to want the, throwback undisputed title belt. Cannot be played when First of All or a title belt with heavyweight or WWE is in your ring, nor can you play those cards. Your superstar specific cards do not take up pre-match or mid-match slots in your ring, and your opponent cannot play I'm going to break you. Very good. So that means this doesn't count. So let's count them. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, -1, so 3, 4, 5. So now we have 1 available slot left, plus we have the card that we can put in for Notion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that works out perfectly for us. We can put in another non-unique, non-unique, non-active pre-match event, and then just one other good card. So let's look up. Let's see. Volley maneuvers are strike. So let's look up strike. No, that's not doing anything special for us. All right, nothing really there. Volley maneuvers have a lot of stun value, so I'm wondering if stun the crowd will be worth it. Is there any pre-match? -1 damage? No. -2 damage, -3 damage, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. Okay. I think we might just have to. I like to start at the bottom when I do when I look at pre-match cards, because good ones tend to be in later sets. None of these are really jumping out at me. Vince GRA is just objectively a good card. But I don't think if we can honestly not find something that we think will be better, then we can do it. We don't really have technical or precision. We don't need any of this. The Intercontinental belt's free, but it's basically just a +1 hand size. The United States belts, the original United States belt might be something worth considering because remember, opponent's already going to have -1 pre-match. I'll put that in for now because it can be very disruptive. I'll put that here. I'll put this a little higher. So we play them back to back. Again, that might come out depending on what else we have. We'll be getting into the newer virtual sets in a minute. Trending worldwide. So we don't have any. We don't have any face cards right now in our backlash. So I think our backlash might be heel aligned and it's fan favorite. And remember, we have the Shhhh Chop, which is also fan favorite. Let's see, if we have trending worldwide, we would have to play it last and then we wouldn't get the card after no show. And our superstar value is going to be pretty high, so we'd have +2 hand. I don't think we really need +2 hand that badly. No, we're not NXT. We're not a good time superstar. Study the tapes. No, we don't really have any way to recover RFG cards other than the one use of anniversary. Nothing's really jumping out. I mean, this is a good problem to have when you feel like your deck is pretty much set and you can just add kind of tech cards. One of the big boys is good, but our opponent's reversals are already not going to do much damage to us, so don't think we really need it. Yeah, so far the United States belt is looking better and better. Yeah, we already have our allegiance. We don't have any heel actions to really talk about. Night of Champions is free, but it's just a +1 hand, and we have ways of increasing our hand. I don't think we want Old School Wrestling match because we have so few reversals. There may be some turns where we just draw and go. Old School Cage match. Does this hurt us? It tends to hurt volley decks, but we don't really have any of those volley cards. Doesn't. We would have to get rid of Kidney Punch, but we can replace that with like a Fisticuffs or something. It kind of hurts Cold Cocked. All right, maybe not. Cage match does kill a lot of decks, but you don't want to, make too many sacrifices just to throw it in. Ruthless Aggression does work if your opponent reverses with the volley trait, but I don't think that's such a big deal. Playing by the rules, we are packing heal cards, so we don't get that, unfortunately. Managed by Shane. Nah. It's a good card, but we would have to put the Shhhh Chop in our arsenal. So, and we already have a manager. Not on my broadcast is a good card, but we have a bunch of specifics, so I could, fall asleep and play 2 specifics on one turn. Best league plans. We have a 9 hand size, so that's pretty healthy. Oh, but our opponent's cards don't reduce our hand size, so We don't really need that either. Yeah, none of these are jumping out at me. So it might just be the United States belt. That's it. As far as what to put in with no show, Unrelenting Assault is always a good card. I'll add it for now, but we'll keep looking. Frankie. That's probably okay, actually. Do we change our reversals in a positive way? Yeah, Frankie might be the way to go. Yeah, I'm going to put Frankie in instead of Unrelenting Assault. I hope I'm not, overlooking something, but that seems like a pretty good idea. Yeah, I'm still not running into anything better than the United States belt. So I think that's where we're going to go. Titles on the line could be fun, but not really needed. We don't really rely on a bunch of aces. Anytime you can shut down your opponent's staples is good. If you're going to build a deck, you don't really want one or two aces. You want either 100 or you want 0. All right. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, where is? Did I not put in the? That'd be silly. I didn't put in the ECW card, so I think that will be our. That will be instead of the United States belt. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And let's count how many take up a slot. 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 6. And then this comes in when no show goes away. So I think we have our pre-match all set, and we already have 24 cards. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is there any thing I'm forgetting? Card type contains mid. I don't think there's. Well, you know what? I'm wondering if. Now it could be kind of silly, but throwback Immune to Pain just for the added lulls. It might be good to replace with Road to Victory. Why not? Let's have some fun. Immune to Pain. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Immune to Pain. There we go. All right, there's our deck. We'll see how it goes. Big Show should be pretty good. Volley is a trait that I really like. So I will report back when we're done. Thanks again for all the support, guys. I really appreciate it. The feedback makes making these videos a lot more fun. So thank you, guys.